Hello and welcome back to the Mennonite Farmhouse. If you love good old-fashioned Pennsylvania Dutch baking, and I know you do, you're in for something special today. As a part of the Pies of March collaboration, I'm sharing a delicious treat. Shoofly Pie Whoopie Pies. These soft, molasses-rich cakes that have a deep, old-fashioned flavor that we all love, paired with the sweet, creamy filling that brings us all together. They are perfect handheld treats, great for sharing, gifting, and just enjoying with a good cup of coffee. I'll take you step by step, just like we do in the farmhouse, so you can make these right at home in your own kitchen. First, we're going to make the vanilla buttercream icing so it gets time to chill. We're going to need 1.5 pounds of confectioner's sugar, 12 ounces of Crisco, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and 1/2 cup of very cold water. First, we're going to add our shortening to our mixer. And we're going to cream that first. Then we're going to add our powdered sugar, then our flour, and our vanilla, then our 1/2 cup of very cold water. Then we're going to put the lid on it and beat it for a good 10 minutes. And as I stopped the mixer, you might notice that I added the bowl scraper attachment to the sides, and boy, they worked wonders. I don't use them all the time for my baking, but in this instance, they definitely are worth having. Now, if you like your whoopie pies extra thick, you might want to double this batch of icing. And you want to chill it for at least 2 hours before using. Next up, we're going to work on the cookies. You'll need 2 cups of shortening, or the equivalent of 380 grams. 2 cups of sugar, 4 eggs, 2 cups of molasses, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 8 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of salt, 4 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 2 teaspoons of ginger. First, we're going to add our shortening to the mixer, and we're going to beat that. Then we're going to add our sugar, and you're going to start seeing a common thing. Then, guess what we're going to do? We're going to beat that. Then we're going to add our 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and we're going to crack our 4 eggs into the mixture. Then we're going to beat that. I'm going to scrape down my sides to make sure it gets all mixed in. And last, we're going to add our molasses in. And to make it easier to come out of the measuring cup, spray it with Pam first. Then it will slide right out. One more final beating. We're going to get a big bowl out, and we're going to sift all the remaining ingredients together. So I'm going to take my 8 cups of flour and my salt, ginger, baking soda, and cinnamon in. Tap it in. This way you don't have lumps in your cookies. Now with our dry ingredients sifted, we're going to slowly incorporate it into our mixture here. I'm going to do about a cup at a time. just going to dump the rest in. Alright, we're going to put this in a bowl and we're going to chill it. That way when it's chilled, it'll be easier to roll the cookies out. Next, we're going to make the molasses goo that goes on the bottom of the cookie. 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of Crisco, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, packed, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of molasses, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 egg, and 1 cup of hot water. So we're going to add our 1 cup of flour, our 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, our tablespoon of shortening, and our 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Then we're going to cut it like we would pie crust. We're going to make it into crumbs. Then we're going to take our 1/4 cup and our 1/2 cup and fill them up. Then we're going to set these aside. I'm going to beat your egg before you put it in the saucepan. Into this saucepan, we're going to add our crumbs, our beaten egg, our vanilla, and our molasses. I'm going to put this on medium heat. Then we're going to stir and stir and stir. So then we're going to add our baking soda into our water. Probably should have left that spoon out to stir it. Alright, we're going to stir this, then add it into our pot. Now we're going to stir for an eternity. Just kidding, it won't be as long as you think. It's going to turn really thick all of a sudden, but it might take 5 minutes. Right now your goo here is very foamy, but sooner or later it's going to turn into a very dark, heavy, thick syrup that you can't stir down. And you'll be thinking you're getting stuck in a tar pit. So notice that's how it's bubbling. Sooner or later, I'm telling you, it's going to turn black and thick. It's getting really close. Into the tar pit we'll send our dinosaurs. That TV show back in the 90s. Oh, it's definitely getting thick. This is when the magic happens, according to the recipe. Just don't burn yourself with these bubbles. And keep your pot on the burner. Here we go. Keep stirring. So you want to make sure all your water is cooked out. And this is a nice thickness, I say. You don't want it too runny where your person eating your whoopie pies is not going to be excited about it. I say cook this down another minute or 2. Alright, I think that's pretty good. We're going to turn off our burner and put a pot holder under it, and we're going to stick it in the refrigerator to let it set up and cool down. Alright, we're going to make an egg wash with a tablespoon of water. And 1 egg. We have our chilled dough, and we have an egg with a tablespoon of water, well beaten, and we have our crumb mixture that we saved from making our goop. So we're going to roll these into balls that are size of walnuts. I'm going to put them on the tray after we put 1 cookie into the crumbs. really good. And then the next one is going to be in the egg wash. You want to do this alternating. 1 crumb, 1 egg wash. There we go. Your crumbs is the top part and your wash is the bottom. And if you let this chill, the crumbs stick better to the dough. These whoopie pies are really popular at my bake sales. I had to make 2 whole batches of these just so I have enough for my customers. The egg wash gives it a nice shiny sheen. Then we're going to bake these for 12 to 14 minutes. And your oven should be preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. As they come out of the oven, you want to let these cool for 2 minutes before taking them off the tray and putting them on your air cooling rack. Alright, the crummy side, the top side, we'll get our whipped buttercream frosting. Make sure you get a good pile in there. Then our shiny side, with the egg, gets our goo. You want to get it to the edges. And I always have plenty of this left over. So, but you don't want it to be too much that it runs all over the place and it's a mess. So then we put our top on, and there you go. A beautiful shoofly pie whoopie pie.
Very good. Tastes like shoofly pie.
Thank you.